This is Hkhs'S Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping a foot on the what? On the next. We keeping a foot on the what? On the next. Now let's get on to it, man. Why does Hkhs'S Sport have to be the one to basically put out the Hkhs'S Sport elephant in the room? Let me say it again. Why does Hkhs'S Sport always have to be the one to put out the Hkhs'S Sport elephant in the room? Okay, what is the elephant in the room? Luka Doncic. Don't get caught up in the hoopla of prisoner of the moment fiasco. The guy hit a game winner. Whoop he fucking do. These offensive minded only type of oriented players, this is what they do. They give you exploits. We've seen this before from James Harden. We've seen this before from Damian Lillard. So people that want to sit here and say that, oh, you're just making it a color thing, you're making it a race thing. No, I'm not. I'm holding James Harden's feet to the fire. I called Luka Doncic a swooped up James Harden. Let me say it again. I called Luka Doncic a swooped up James Harden. That means I don't even hold James Harden in high order or high variation. I'm holding Damian Lillard to the fire. Isn't Damian Lillard black? So again, I don't understand this nonsense about folks accusing Hkhs'S Sport of singling out certain type of basketball players. That makes absolutely no sense. And you know, you get the proverbial higgity fucking hush. Here's the cold-hearted, here's the unadulterated, and here's the cutthroat Truthttelling fashion. In basketball, you have what we call two-sided players, and you have what we call one-sided players. Two-sided players, elite two-sided players, play elite on both the offensive and defensive side of the basketball. Then you have one-sided players. They only do one thing very good. They do it extremely good, or they do it elite. That's either play offense at the highest levels or play defense at the highest levels. And then you have the sum of all part role players that don't even do it at the highest levels. They just either are a hustler, they're a scrappler. They bring something of contribution or value on one side of the equation. Doesn't even have to be at the highest level. When we talk about Luka Doncic, we talk about the James Hardens of the world. We talk about the Damian Lillards of the world. We talk about the Stephen Currys of the world. These types of players, the Steve Nashes of the world, these types of players have something in common. You know what the common denominator is? They don't play defense. They are pedestrians on the defensive side of the basketball. I value defense higher than I value offense. That's a Hkhs'S Sports standard when it comes to basketball. Remember, I'm the standard bearer and the trendsetter when it comes to this stuff called basketball. So I'm going to judge this thing at the highest levels. I judge basketball at the highest levels. If I see a player does not give the same effort defensively as they are doing offensively, then they are very low on the Hkhs'S Sport bar. Because in the NBA playoffs, because I feel like I need to say this, in the NBA playoffs, legends are made. And in order for legends to be made, usually what you will find in the pantheon of greatness, those that sit on Mount Rushmore, those that are climbing themselves to get into a form of pantheon of greatness, whether it's the lower echelon, whether if it's the mid echelon, or whether if it's the upper echelon, they all have something in common. There's a simile that's drawn by all of them. You know what that is? They all can play on both sides of the coin. They are Geppettos. Do your research on Geppetto. You understand what I'm talking about. Ambidextrous individual. That means you can do it all. In basketball, you have to have multifaceted abilities, man. Let me say it again. In basketball, you need to have multifaceted abilities. You need to play defense at the highest levels, and you need to play offense at the highest levels, especially when we're talking about the NBA playoffs. This is a whole nother season, a whole nother gamut, a whole nother dichotomy. So it requires for you to have the abilities, the skill sets, and the prerequisites to step it up. When we look at Luka Doncic and we look at Kawhi Leonard is going to nullify him. Luka just got the edge now. The problem with most basketball heads, they are prisoner of the moment. See, even those that are real G's, super real G's, and ultimate real G's out here in these basketball streets have been duped. They've become brain full of mush and brainwashed dodo heads. Hence the terminology, dodo heads. Let me say it again. Hence the terminology, dodo heads because the power of the media. They have done what we call NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. They have programmed these people's minds into seeing things the way that they want to see it, the way that they've cultivated the narrative, the way that they have basically unctioned the situation so that it can be in their script, in their way of seeing things. But you have to be smarter than that. And we can't sit here and allow ourselves to be a prisoner of the moment. Luka Doncic hit a game winner. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Did that mean he won the series? All he did is tied it up. He gets credit. You want to impress me, Luka Doncic? Defeat the Los Angeles Clippers in a 7-game series. Then I will sit back and say, okay, this guy's different from a James Harden or Damian Lillard because he actually beat a superstar in Kawhi Leonard. But has he done it yet? If he hasn't, higgity fucking hush. So when Hkhs'S Sport is judging basketball at the highest levels, it's about judging a player based on what they can do on both sides of the coin. Remember the great terminology Dennis Rodman said in the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Offense gets the glory, but defense wins championships. Let me say it again. Offense gets the glory, but defense wins championships. You got to win off of defense. There are 3 key ingredients in basketball that are necessary for the prerequisites of winning. Defense, rebounds, free throws. Let me say it again. Defense, rebounds, and free throws. And when we look at Luka Doncic, we have to judge him at the highest levels. You can't be all caught up and getting caught up in the fanboyisms or get caught up in fangirlisms and say, well, Luka is just so hot. What happened to Damian Lillard? Keep that same energy, dog. Let me say it again. Keep that same energy, dog. What happened? How did the luster, the fire just it extinguished? You know why that happened? Because people were prisoners of the moment. They were getting caught up in Damian Dollar's or Dame Dollar's offensive fiasco. It's the same thing with Luka Doncic, man. What you're starting to see is a pattern that we've always seen through the annals of NBA history. I have the history of the NBA on my side here. Guys that play on one side of the equation, especially if it's just offense, when their offense is shot, what do they have left? That's how you have to look at Luka Doncic here. In a 7-game series, I'm sorry to say this, he's not beating Kawhi Leonard because Kawhi Leonard is one of the highest variations of a two-sided player. And last time I checked, if you do your homework on Kawhi Leonard and you do your homework on the team that he orchestrates, when you beat him, he comes for blood the next time. Let me say it again. When you beat him, he comes for blood the next time. Watch Luka Doncic get shut down. Watch Luka Doncic have a bad game. And watch you guys come back and say, and a prediction king strikes again. And a prediction king strikes again. Hkhs'S Sport is just basically explaining to you guys what basketball looks like at its highest levels. I know people don't want to accept basketball at its highest levels because they want to get caught up in their fanboyisms. They want to get caught up in their fangirlisms. But I leave with this. Maybe my basketball standards are too high. Or maybe y'all motherfuckers can't keep up. Let me say it again. Maybe my basketball standards are too high. Or maybe y'all motherfuckers can't keep up. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. And that's the cutthroat truth-telling fashion. This is Hkhs'S Sport. Checking out.